Hi guys, welcome again to Learning TWI the Fun Way with TWI Junior Pro. My name is Kosɛ, and for today's lesson, I was asked by a friend what was my personal 15 must-know TWI phrases for both learners and tourists. So I sat back and I thought, what would I want to know if I was trying to learn a new language, right? So I came up with my own personal 15 must-know TWI phrases for both learners and tourists. And the first phrase is welcome. Everyone wants to know how to say welcome in a new language, right? So welcome in TWI is Akwaaba. Again, Akwaaba. Now, if somebody wants to say I welcome you, that in TWI can be said as Mema Akwaaba. Again, Mema Akwaaba. And if somebody wants to say we welcome you, now that in TWI can be said as Yɛma Akwaaba. Again, Yɛma Akwaaba. And the second phrase is how are you? And that in TWI can be said as Wohu te sɛn. Again, Wohu te sɛn. Now one can say how is it, right? As opposed to how are you. Now, how is it in TWI is te sɛn. Again, te sɛn. And the third phrase is I'm well. So that's actually in response to how are you, right? So I'm well. I'm well in TWI is mehu ye. Again, mehu ye. And the fourth phrase is thank you. Now, thank you in TWI is Medaase. Again, Medaase. Medaase is actually the short form of Medaase. Medaase. So the long form of thank you in TWI is Medaase. But people commonly just say Medaase. So Medaase and Medaase is actually one and the same thing. And the fifth phrase is please. Everyone needs to know what please is in any language, right? So please in TWI is Mepaakyɛw. Again, Mepaakyɛw. But we usually shorten it, as in instead of saying the long form, there's a short form as well, which is Mepaakyɛw. Mepaakyɛw. So basically, Mepaakyɛw and Mepaakyɛw is actually one and the same thing. So again, please in TWI, the long form of it is Mepaakyɛw. Again, Mepaakyɛw. And the short form, which is the same as a long form, is Mepaakyɛw. To show a sign of respect when you're speaking to someone, it's always advisable to add please in front of the word or the sentence that you're trying to say, right? So for an example, if I want to say, please, are you done? Now that in TWI can be said as Mepaakyɛw We. Again, Mepaakyɛw We. And the sixth phrase is sorry. Now, sorry in TWI can be said in two ways. The first and the most common one is Kafra. Again, Kafra. And the second one is Kosɛ. Again, Kosɛ. So if I want to say sorry in a sentence, right, I would say it in this way. Sorry, I didn't do it intentionally. Now that in TWI can be said as Kosɛ manhyɛ. Kosɛ manhyɛ. Or you can say Kafra manhyɛ. Kafra manhyɛ. And the seventh phrase is yes. Now yes in TWI is Aane. Again, Aane. So now let's construct a sentence that needs one to say yes, right? So for an example, if one wants to ask you, have you eaten? And your response would be yes, right? So have you eaten in TWI is Woadidi. Again, Woadidi. Again, Woadidi. And your response, of course, would be Aane, which in English is yes, right? Aane. But if you want to say, yes, I have eaten, that in TWI can be said as Aane madidi. Again, Aane madidi. And the eighth phrase is no. So no in TWI is Debbie. So let's go back to the previous sentence, asking me, have you eaten, which is Woadidi. And my answer this time, instead of Aane, would be Debbie. Again, Debbie. And the ninth phrase is can you show me there? So imagine you're a tourist, right? And you get to a country, or in this case, you get to Ghana, or you get to a place where they predominantly speak Twi, and you want to ask them, can you show me there? Wobetumi akyere me ho. Again, Wobetumi akyere me ho. But like I said before, adding please to a sentence or phrase shows a sign of respect, right? So in this case, if you wanted to say, please, can you show me there? That in Twi can be said as Mepaakyɛw Wobetumi akyere me ho. Again, Mepaakyɛw Wobetumi akyere me ho. And the 10th phrase is, can you take me there? And that in Twi can be said as Wobetumi akɔkyerɛ me ho. Again, Wobetumi akɔkyerɛ me ho. And the 11th phrase is, I am hungry. And that in Twi can be said as Ɛkɔm de me. Again, Ɛkɔm de me. And the 12th phrase is, I'm not feeling well. And that in Twi can be said as Mihum fa me. Again, Mihum fa me. One last time, Mihum fa me. And the 13th phrase is, so assuming you are in a restaurant or in a public area and you want to go to the bathroom. And that in Twi can be said as Agyananbea no wɔ he. Again, Agyananbea no wɔ he. And the 14th thing is, where is the hospital? And that in Twi can be said as Ayaresabea no wɔ he. One last time, slowly. Ayaresabea no wɔ he. And finally, the 15th one, help me. So imagine a situation where you need help, right? How would one say help me in Twi? Now, help me in Twi is boa me. Again, boa me. So now just imagine you're in a state where you need help. It's always good to add please, right? So one would say, please help me. So the best way of saying that would be Mepaakyɛw boa me. Again, Mepaakyɛw boa me. So now let's get into the comment section. But before that, guys, I just want to say, you know what? Thank you so much for everyone that keeps on leaving stuff in my comment section. It doesn't matter if it's translations, meaning that you wanted me to translate something, or just you saying that, you know what, you appreciate the content that I'm pushing out, or there are those that actually correct me, which I'm really, really appreciative of, because I don't know everything. So it's nice to know that people are out there trying to correct me, saying that, you know what, instead of saying this way, this is actually another way of saying it. So guys, again, I appreciate each and every one of you that actually took their time to actually put stuff in my comment section. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So for this week, we had one person that wanted me to translate something in the comment section, right? So Jewel, thanks again for your continued support. And these are the two things that Jewel wanted to know. So the first thing that Jewel wanted to know was how to say, I have to go to the other people's house. Now that in Twi can be said as, Ɛwɔ sɛ mekɔ wei mu fie. Again, Ɛwɔ sɛ mekɔ wei mu fie. One last time. Ɛwɔ sɛ mekɔ wei mu fie. And the second thing that Jewel wanted to know was, I have done the necessary things. And that in Twi can be said in two ways. The first way of saying it is, mayɛ nea ɛhia. Again, mayɛ nea ɛhia. Mayɛ is basically I've done. Nea is that or what. Here, well, ɛhia is basically what's important or what's necessary. So again, mayɛ nea ɛhia. And the second way of saying it is, mayɛ nneɛma ɛhia. Again, mayɛ nneɛma ɛhia. As I said, mayɛ is I've done, nneɛma is things, ɛhia is something that's important, something that's valuable, something that's necessary, right? So mayɛ nneɛma ɛhia. But one can go a step further. I have done all that is necessary. And that in Twi could be said as, mayɛ nea ɛhia nyinaa. One last time slowly. Mayɛ nea ɛhia nyinaa. And the other way one could have put this was, mayɛ nneɛma ɛhia nyinaa. Guys, thanks a lot. This is the end of this week's lesson. I hope you guys actually enjoyed and you guys found my 15 must-know TWI phrases for both learners and tourists fruitful, right? What I'll do is, I think in the weeks to come, I'll actually add another 10 to the list because 15 is small. Please do get the TWI Junior Pro app. With that and this, you learn the language quicker. And I just want to say thank you to all my old subscribers and thank you to my new subscribers, right, for actually going through the content of the channel, enjoying it enough to actually subscribing to the channel. Guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, the coronavirus, it's not about you, it's about the next person. So do take care of yourself so others will be safe as well. With lots of love from Kwesi. See you next week. Bye.